Hey there, it is Jamie Edwards, and delighted to say that I am joined by performing legend, Ute Lemper. You are!
Am I? My goodness.
I mean, it's such
that means I'm at least 75 years old.
Okay, a future performing legend. A real pleasure to have you in London. And a bit of a surprise as well, a flying visit for you.
Yes, very quickly. From Italy, I did a whole tour in Italy for 10 days and back to New York. Almost after this interview, straight to Heathrow.
Oh, I'm privileged that you found the time to do
But I took yesterday when I flew in from Gatwick, I took the train, and I have to say this is really good. Half an hour.
Yeah.
From door to door for £20. This is good.
Doesn't always work that way, gotta say.
But there were no taxis around. The wait for the taxi was 1 hour and a half, so I had to take the train.
Oh wow.
And you guys are really well organized here.
So, blimey.
Taxi drivers.
You've heard it here first. So let's talk about your life in theatre, really. I mean, where did it all start off for you?
It was very early on. I think I was only 22, 23 when I broke through on the two parallel streets. One was with being Sally Bowles in Paris and getting as a German the French Theatre Award, which is like the Tony Award. And it was like, oh my God, who is this young German? And suddenly it started with, oh, who is this second Marlene Dietrich or Romy Schneider? And I got, compared to like really big names. I said, oh, what the hell, it's a different time. I'm so different. How can I live up to this? And there was that stress. And but it was also beautiful. It gave me so many opportunities. And then the recording career, which was so vastly international, that it was, I'm very grateful for it. I went to Asia, to South America. I suddenly was known everywhere through these recordings of Kurt Weill music and Piaf music, Dietrich music. Then the Berlin Cabaret songs followed up in the 90s, which was very important. That was now after the fall of the wall, when cabaret in the style, in the satirical style of the old Weimar Republic, not in the American style of cabaret, where you sing the Cole Porter and you're like an aged Broadway performer and you come and tell your life story, but cabaret in the satirical style of the Weimar Republic, with a political comedy, that suddenly was a revival too. And my album Berlin Cabaret Songs was very important for the gay movement. Super important. All these songs that were written in the 20s and performed by Claire Waldorf and Margot Leon, and the wave of lesbian performers and gay performers in the Weimar times, the first sexual liberation and freedom of expression. It was an incredible, important album that was then copied on later on by numerous cabaret performers all over the world, from here to Australia, from China to South America. So that was, and then I came finally to London after I had my first two kids in Paris and was performing there and was doing movies there. I came in 1997 to London to do Velma Kelly in Chicago.
Yeah, let's talk about that, because you won the Olivier Award for that.
Yes, that was also a shock to me, and I guess a shock to the British, because I was, I think, the only and first German who would be distributed a prize like this. So it was a big honor for me.
It was well deserved for Paul. I didn't get to see it, unfortunately, but
no, it was fun to be part of the theatre community, and it was a great honor. Yeah, but it was a rough part.
I think she's the best part in Chicago. I really love that.
Yeah, I threw myself into that choreography like crazy, carelessly, and I'm sitting here now with one herniated disc in my neck from the reckless whiplashing of my head. I just went for it. I said, that body is unbreakable and I'm gonna go for it. And I whiplashed upside down on the chair and kicking the legs. I just gave it my everything. And at the time I had two small children in my house. My kids, 1 year and 3 years old, they were in the afternoons in my dressing room, and I was so exhausted from being a new mother. And I was out there rocking it out every night, 8 shows a week. It was tough, man.
That was your release.
Well, yes, I mean, Yes, of course, and it was my passion. Thank God, I always had this balance between my family life to be a mother and taking care of the kids and do the cleaning and scrubbing of the floors and changing the diapers and playing Spider-Man and Superman on the floor with my boys and knocking them all out of the bed and stuff like that, and then being on stage to do something very different. So a tough balance, but a rewarding balance. I was a better mother because I did have that balance, and I was a better performer because I was a mother.